All right, everyone. Donald Trump has repeatedly challenged Joe Biden to debate him in this current election, and it's still not entirely sure that that's going to be a thing. I think that Trump is clearly itching for a fight. He's constantly antagonizing Joe. He's like, well, I'm ready to debate anywhere, anytime. Just fucking name the date and the place. I'll show up. I wouldn't expect that the Biden campaign wouldn't deliberately put it on a court date or something like that. And then you'd have that stupid Biden wins page on Twitter saying, epic win for Joe Biden. Cowardly Donald Trump refuses to debate him. Yeah, because he's literally got a court summons on that day, but we'll leave that particular context out. They've done this several times before. Biden claims, link in the description, archived of course, on Stern actually, showing how far Stern has fallen having Biden on there. He claims that he's willing to debate Donald Trump. He's very non-committal about the ramifications of how they're going to organize that. We're not sure there are going to be presidential debates in this election season, which is very sad. It would be unprecedented, number one, in modern political history. And number two, it would rob all of us of a very, very funny spectacle. You've got the aging vegetable who can barely even putter across the stage unassisted, and the dude who is known for saying literally whatever comes to mind at any given time and repeatedly harassing and insulting his debate opponents. It would be great. You remember the 2020 debates. Those were fucking funny. They weren't as funny as the 2016 debates, but I'm thinking with Joe Biden's continuous cognitive decline over the course of 4 years, you're more likely to see him say or do something stupid or shit his pants because Trump goes after him too hard and he gets his old man rage up and all of a sudden you hear a funny sound on the microphone and it seems like Joe Biden has a little bit of something extra down there. Donald Trump will do his normal mean tweets in real life thing, etc., etc. It'd be great. It'd also be good for the nation. It'd be cathartic, I think. All of us would very much enjoy. You'd get plenty of memes, by the way, and make the internet more interesting for a while as well. He claims that he's willing to debate him, but he's non-committal about the form and function of organizing those debates. His last reaction, and this is a month ago, was, well, I'd like to debate him, but it depends on how he acts. Like, I'm the big man in the room. I get to decide whether Donald is behaving. That sort of bullshit. It just makes him look petulant more than anything else. President, former president, you're both running against each other. Normally you have 3 presidential debates. The general debate, the foreign policy debate, then the final, like the wrap-up debate, and then there's a VP debate. Of course, we don't know who the running mate for Trump will be yet. My thought is that that one is also unlikely to happen. If Biden bows out and says, I'm not going to debate, Donald because X, Y, Z. Donald the felon. I can't debate a felon. Donald said something, I don't know, something random under the sun that I find offensive, so I'm not going to debate him or something like that. Unfortunately, there's a good 50-50 chance that happens. There's about a 50% chance, unfortunately, that we don't get any presidential or even a vice presidential debate in the election cycle. That also robs me of a golden opportunity. Hell, live streaming my reactions to those would be big business. You get a lot of super chats on that sort of thing. So throw us a bone, Joe. Don't be a coward. But I guarantee, if there's no debate, the reason why it will be because Joe Biden doesn't want to, and he clearly doesn't. He can claim with his bravado that he would enjoy it. Bullshit. We all know differently. But they'll cast it off as though Donald Trump is being irrational. So some debate condition that he wanted, like having a fair moderator not leading the questions, will be conceived of and construed as being fanatical or something like that. So basically the debates, if they do happen, will be Donald Trump debating both Joe Biden and the moderator. They'll get some token liberal on Fox News to host one. They'll say, well, it was Fox News, so quite clearly it was tilted in Trump's favor, and evil orange man lost the debate. And you can guarantee rigging of the polls afterwards, too. They did this in 2020. Yes, Donald Trump lost a debate in which his opponent put forth absolutely no coherent narrative whatsoever. I believe that. I mean, if you're polling MSNBC's core audience, I would believe that would probably be the result that you would get. But, the polling was a little bit wonky there. Hell, same in 2016. Donald Trump had one-liner after one-liner, and Hillary Clinton looked like a deer in the headlights half the time, but somehow he still lost the debate. Well, she lost the election, so it was pretty funny at the time. I have a feeling, though, that they're going to try to do everything that they can to prevent the debates from happening. They're going to try to shelter Joe, by the way. To keep the stink off of their own candidate. it'll be a disagreement between the DNC and the RNC, which will have been engineered by both sides of the Uniparty, by the way, or something like that. They'll try to do that, or there'll be a national climate emergency, and so we're not allowed to have a debate because of the emissions involved with holding this event, or something like that. Stranger things have happened. Look at the 2020 election. Wasn't that a little bit bizarre? Some people have already forgotten about all the wacky shit that happened during that period of time with the lockdowns and stuff like that. They don't want to remember that period of history because it makes them feel sad for having gone along with it, I think. I myself did not. Cowardice, in my opinion. Joe Biden is pathetic as a debater. He's not a good public speaker. He needs a teleprompter generally in order to maintain a linear thought pattern. Trump has fucking verbal problems too, to be completely honest. It also enrages me because Donald Trump is a good public speaker, but he's so non-linear that at times he's got a really good point that he could make, and it's like, oh, Don, get him. You got the perfect one-liner opportunity, but then he pivots to something else. If there's one thing that pisses me off about Donald Trump other than his hiring practices, which hopefully won't continue in this current election cycle or thereafter if he's reelected, it's that. It's the non-linear sort of, the sound and the fury sort of speaking patterns that he can have. Joe Biden has got it worse, though. He used to be very linear and coherent. Have you seen his Senate speeches or even some of the speeches he gave as VP? Generally very linear and coherent. Actually pretty good as a public speaker. Well, is he good as a public speaker now? No, quite clearly. If he can actually manage to get up onto the stage without tripping, or saying we could see that at one of the debates, boy, wouldn't that be a power moment. If he's even able to get up on the stage, then he just meanders off into La La Land and says weird shit half the time. His SOTU, which was teleprompted as well, even then he went off the rails multiple times. You know, when heckled, he doesn't do a very good job. He always does the creepy Adderall grin more than anything else. I'm hoping there are debates, but at this point, even with Joe Biden saying, yeah, I'm interested in doing that, man, yeah, but what kind of conditions are you going to put on it? Or the DNC going to put on it? Or are you going to schedule it for a date that you know that Donald Trump is going to have to be in court for so he can't make the debate? Or he has to be in court for 5 hours right before the debate so he's going to be more tired. They're going to try to handicap him if they have debates at all in every possible way that they can. I would go so far as to say we might see a bizarre moment where a court, you know, working with the DNC, deliberately schedules an impromptu appearance date for Trump during the debate. Biden still shows up and says, well, come on, man, I don't know where Donald is. He must be cowering or something like that. I wouldn't even put it past them at this point. Would you be surprised? Because I sure as hell wouldn't be. That's about all. Peace out.